Welcome to TradeTheNBA.com. This is John. This report is for the 20th of April. And, well, pre-market, we're getting a little bit of downdraft, and you can see our 100% line declining. So if we're going to get movement from this gold shakeout rising, it's going to be a little easier because we're moving closer to where price was. A little bit of softness we're seeing, and kind of dramatic change in the NBI reading, particularly with short activation as well as the softening of the magenta. And you can see a clear spider of shorts activating. So this could be that little bit of weakness, but of course it's early and that is pre-market. So just have to play it by ear as it comes along. But NQ also responding similarly. So we're getting kind of a unified result. And it's going to be interesting because there's already a lot of negative sentiment, and it's just another perfect opportunity if bulls are able to jump in on this, that they'll be able to create a pretty strong reversal. Would give enough impetus to really spike things back up. Treasuries remaining unchanged at this particular point. It's just so much in the bond market is caught against where the Fed currently is, but this expectation is that the Fed has no choice. I would disagree. I think the Fed has options, more so than they're really giving them credit. They just think that they're going to do the same thing they've done before just because that's what they've done before. It's not necessarily justification. It's what you see in Europe going on as well. It's the same view that because things are weak, that even with inflation, what it is, the Feds or central banks are going to change their minds and begin to soften because they're not going to allow unemployment to increase. And that's not been what we've been hearing from central banks. So it's interesting. Oil shaving off a little bit, that helps. It's going to fill in this gap here. Back down to the 76 range, and then we'll see where things are. And it'll be interesting because you have Ukraine war issues starting to heat up as they're about to begin their offensive, and maybe it's optimism that their offensive is going to turn things around and make them victorious over the Russians. A lot of interesting perspectives on those things. I don't think that's necessarily going to help anything, but if things get more active, it could spill over into other negative areas. So I would look for gold and things like that to start shoring up, because I think that's going to be a defensive play. Same with your cryptocurrencies. Again, euro continuing its move, and that's just because the expectation is that the U.S. has no alternative but to continue to weaken. We've seen some pullback filling in positive extremes for like Bitcoin, ETH, same situation. They had all these positive extremes from a couple of days ago. I'm pretty close to having those completely filled at this particular stage. And yeah, there's the TradeStation rebooted again on me. Everything was fine until it wasn't. Keep changing things, trying to adjust to accommodate, but I don't know what's going on with the TS that just keeps failing, and it's not a great thing. That's the long and the short of it for now, and I would just keep an eye on where we go, particularly intraday with these. This particular stage, we're not at a point where we would expect a breakdown. Shakeout's still pretty strong in it, so just looking at potentially normal swing action starting to activate a little bit more than it had as we prepare for end of month preparations and that. So as always, trade well. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one.